The girl held a stranger's funeral portrait in her arms, crying her heart out all night long. Morning came. Perhaps she was tired from crying. She walked calmly towards the seaside. And I, in my soul form, have been following her for exactly 3 days. I don't know who this woman arranging my funeral is. I just feel the candy wrapper in her hand right now looks a bit familiar. She caressed the wrapper in her hand like a treasure, then stood up as if she had made up her mind, then raised her hand, letting them fall into the water with the wind. Do you not remember me anymore? I am Xu Nianchu, floating in midair. My whole body suddenly shook. Why is it it's not that I don't remember Xu Nianchu, it's just that the Xu Nianchu in my memory and now are like 2 different people. In 12th grade, she transferred to Jianqing No. 1 high school, becoming my desk mate. Back then, she was incredibly thin and frail, with thick bangs covering her forehead, speaking timidly and submissively, like a little kitten, and at that time, I liked Yun Ruoxi. I knew Yun Ruoxi liked this kind of milk candy, so I prepared it for her every day. But one time, because I annoyed Yun Ruoxi, she didn't accept my candy, so I casually tossed it in my desk mate. I didn't expect Xu Nianchu to keep it until now. You gave me these candies. Do you know, it was these small candies that saved my life. Without you, I would have died long ago. I always thought, wait until I'm strong enough, wait until I can catch up to your footsteps. I wanted to confess to you, to be with you, but how could you die? Why didn't you give me even a single chance? Xu Nianchu's voice was filled with sorrow. As she spoke, she suddenly laughed. But it's okay now. I'm coming to keep you company. Realizing what she was about to do, she screamed frantically, Lin Zhou, can you hear me? In the next life, can you look at me a little more? A blinding light me unable to open my eyes. I rubbed my eyes and heard noisy shouting beside me. Lin Zhou, what are you planning to do? Get down here. Quick, the flag ceremony is about to start. Zhang Bapi will definitely come later. He'll skin you alive. Yanruza, you persuade him. How can I persuade him? Oh my! Didn't he just call your name? That's right. He's holding roses. He definitely wants to confess to you. He likes you. Didn't you know? Hey! Say something. Let me tell him to come down. How do you know he intends to confess to me? Maybe he just, if you don't come down, he'll call your dad. Okay. Zhang Bapi. Yanruza, plus hearing that voice just now, there's also my best buddy Fatty Liu Ximing. Am I dreaming? I opened my eyes in a daze. Meeting my eyes was a dense crowd of students below the steps. Right now I'm holding a bouquet of roses, standing on the flag podium. This is the 100-day pledge ceremony for grade 12. Could it be I've come back to life? But this rebirth timing is too terrible. Judging by what Fatty just said, I already called Yun Ruox's name on the podium. Next, will surely be that Shakin I like you. In the past life, she kept entangling with me, eventually ruining my family and home, and I continued down that same disastrous path. I looked around in all directions, suddenly thought of a way, so I grabbed the microphone I was clutching tight. Well. Everyone quiet down a bit. Yun Ruoxi nervously played with her fingers. Is he really planning to confess to me today? What should I do? I don't want to end my single life yet. Although Lin Zhou is alright, but what if I meet someone better later? Student Yun Ruoxi. Actually, I just wanted to say your shoelace is untied. Huh. Zhang Bapi, about to rush the stage a second later, immediately stared wide-eyed. Yanruza, who hadn't even thought of a rejection, was also stunned. What? The whole school went into an uproar. Say what? What is it? What? What shoelace? Student Yun Ruoxi, I said your shoelace is untied. The school grounds are crowded today. Be careful not to trip after the assembly. Finished saying that, I turned back to look at the thousands of students below. Everyone must be curious why I'm holding this bouquet. Today is our grade 12's 100-day pledge ceremony. Only 100 days left. We will have to go into battle, participating in the college entrance exam, the most important turning point of our lives. But in our lives, besides ourselves, there are others silently participating too. That is our teachers who spare no hardship to teach us. So this bouquet of mine is for the teachers. Thank you for your sacrifices over the past years. Huh. Lin Zhou, what on earth is going on? Did Yun Ruoxi make you mad? Looking at your attitude just now, you clearly wanted to confess to her. Just got back to class. Fatty impatiently sat down next to me. I hurriedly pushed him away. Don't sit here. Annoying. Get up now. Are you kidding? This seat is for Xu Nianchu. I remember in my past life, on this very pledge ceremony day, Xu Nianchu transferred to our class and became my desk mate. Fatty looked confused. Boss, what are you talking about? You're so weird today. The class bell rang right at that moment. He sprinted back to his seat. I quickly sat up straight. Coming. Xu Nianchu is coming soon. Thought for a bit. Felt it wasn't right. Snatched the toilet paper roll from Fatty's desk next to me. Started wiping diligently. The desk and chair. Quiet! Homeroom teacher Liu Qingyan walked into the class. I hurriedly looked behind him. There, a girl was standing, trying to shrink herself as much as possible. Thin as paper, exactly like our first meeting in the past life. She wore a pink-gray backpack with a patch, wearing a uniform one size too big, hands clasped tight together in anxiety, walking carefully with her head down. Xu Nianchu, finally met you again. My heart skipped a beat, remembering the past life after she arranged my funeral. That small figure curled up in the corner crying miserably. How much I wanted to hug her in that moment, but back then I was just a wandering soul. Couldn't do anything. I only felt my heart aching. It had been so long since anyone cared for me like that. I didn't even dare to believe that in this world, such intense and sincere love could still exist, though I don't know why she likes me. But now I'm only 17 and a half. Plenty of time to find out. Today our class has a transfer student, standing right here next to me. Her name is Xu Nianchu. Everyone applaud to welcome her. Come on, student Xu Nianchu. Introduce yourself. Xu Nianchu stood there in panic, managed to say only one word, before lowering her head deeply. Hands that were clenched tight kept crumbling her shirt hem. She's scared. Makes sense. Although in the past life, Xu Nianchu and I were desk mates for only 2 days, I barely heard her speak a few sentences. Classmates nearby saw this and started whispering, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you saying anything?" The homeroom teacher also noticed Xu Nianchu's anxiety. Student Xu Nianchu, you sit in the empty seat next to Lin Zhou for now. Wait until the class meeting to review. Well, change your seat. Yes. Okay. Xu Nianchu, who was extremely tense, breathed a sigh of relief. Considered it a narrow escape, she hurriedly stepped down from the podium, walking towards me. Only one empty seat left in class. Must be the one the teacher meant. The new deskmate's name is Lin Zhou. Looking at her appearance, my lips curled up involuntarily. 18-year-old Xu Nianchu is so afraid of strangers. Kinda cute, actually. Excuse me, may I ask? Hello? Hello? I'm your new deskmate. Lin Zhou. I suppressed the urge to hug her, tried to smile as gently as possible. Ah! Thanks. Xu Nianchu was cautious. Said thanks, then quietly sat down. Alright, everyone take out yesterday's test. I pulled out my test paper covered in red crosses, suddenly felt a bit emotional. My grades back then were truly hopeless. 100 days left until the college entrance exam. Don't know if I can improve, even less sure about Xu Nianchu's academic level. Can I get into the same university as her? Lost in thought, I suddenly felt a faint gaze. Unintentionally looking this way, I turned my head and saw Xu Nianchu panic and withdraw her gaze, bowing her head to scribble on scratch paper. I understood. This girl doesn't have yesterday's test paper? Looking at her, seems she wants to share with me, but is too shy to ask. This girl is really timid. I sighed inwardly, then looked at my paper again. I deeply regretted not taking the test seriously. They say first impressions are very important. What if she sees these grades of mine and doesn't like me anymore? Truly depressing. I intentionally pushed the test paper to the middle of our seats. Xu Nianchu looked like she discovered a new continent. Smiled happily, quickly suppressed it, cautiously peeking at me. I was extremely satisfied with this situation, but just a moment later, I noticed my deskmate frowning, seemingly very confused about the pile of red crosses on it. No way! Must find a way to improve my grades. Why does everyone else who transmigrates get a golden finger? What am I missing? Forget it. Just listen attentively first, learn what I can't get a goose egg next time. Thinking so, I also looked at the test paper. Looking was fine, but I was surprised to discover the knowledge on the test the teacher was explaining was transmitting clearly into my ears right now, and being completely absorbed. This is the first time I've felt my mind so clear. Could this be the benefit of rebirth? I hurriedly searched for my literature textbook. Xu Nianchu saw this, her small brows furrowed again. What is the new deskmate looking for? Why flip the books all messy like that? Hello? I'm checking the original text for this sentence. Xu Nianchu looked at the question I pointed to, then looked at the pile of books I flipped through. Couldn't bear it. This poem is in grade 11 volume 2. Page 103. I awkwardly put down the grade 10 volume 2 book, the literature book, pulled out the grade 11 book from the desk, turned to page 103. Sure enough, saw that poem, looked at Xu Nianchu in surprise. This deskmate is not simple. Seeing me look, she quickly lowered her head. Daring not speak, I didn't mind, quickly picked up the book to check the text. After reading through once, I discovered I indeed remembered most of the content. This is truly a huge benefit of rebirth. My academic grades are finally saved. Fatty felt my actions all day today. I exuded all kinds of abnormality. I started flipping books to study again, also whispering to the new desk mate. Speaking is one thing, but looking especially happy too. What on earth is wrong with Boss Zhou? This question lasted until school ended. He finally couldn't hold it in and exploded. The reason was just as class ended, my desk mate immediately went out. Fatty intended to ask me to go to the toilet, but found I didn't pay attention to him. Also intending to follow my desk mate out, he stepped up quickly, draped his arm around my shoulder. Boss Zhou, you've had a change of heart. I glared at him. Speak properly. What do you mean change of heart? I'm correcting my mistakes. Turning back to the shore, Fatty was horrified. Holy crap. You don't really like student Xu, do you? I basically didn't listen to Fatty, but nodded like a machine. That's right. So what? Can I love her at first sight? While talking, I looked into the crowd again. Xu Nianchu's figure was nowhere to be seen. Sigh. It's all your fault. Why talk to me? Lost track of my desk mate. This rebirth has a huge disadvantage for me. That is, I'm completely clueless about Xu Nianchu's situation. I know she likes me very much, because in the past life, I caused a scene at the pledge ceremony. That confession incident made parents have strong opinions about me, afraid I would influence their children's studies, pressured the school to expel me. So in the past life, all things considered, I was only her desk mate for 2 days. Fatty looked at me in horror again. Are you still my boss, Zhou? Even if it's love at first sight, that's too exaggerated. Why do you look like a pervert now? I suddenly thought of something, threw my arm around Fatty's shoulder. Fatty, I heard you have some bros over at No. 2 High School. Go investigate Xu Nianchu for me. Xu Nianchu transferred from No. 2 High School, but the Gakao is coming soon. While transfer to No. 1 High School at this critical moment. I feel I really need to find out about this. After going to the toilet and returning to class, found my desk mate already seated. This period is chemistry. Xu Nianchu blankly watched others take out their test papers. A bit flustered, seeing me return, she instinctively shrank back, leaning to one side. In her head were words unintentionally overheard in the restroom earlier. Why did the teacher put that new student next to Lin Zhou today? Yeah, she looks so pitiful, but that Lin Zhou guy is a school bully. His desk mates were all bullied away. Right? Exactly. I also heard he once threw worms down a girl's neck. Ah, that's just too awful. Right? Should we warn that student Xu a bit? Xu Nianchu's mind was a bit messy. Ah, is the new desk mate that bad? But I just peeked at his test paper last period and pointed out the textbook content on the test for him, discussing studies with a school bully. Xu Nianchu felt chills. No wonder the desk mate, right after class ended, followed me with the guy next door. Is he planning to tease me? Back at No. 2 High School, those classmates teased me like that too. I pulled the chemistry test out of my desk, looked at her. Let's share. Xu Nianchu was stunned, instinctively shrank back. Ah, no. No need. What's wrong with this desk mate? Wasn't she normal last period? Just a break and she got timid again. Do you have the paper? No. I don't. Then why not watch? Teacher is about to correct it. Xu Nianchu fell silent. Can't miss the lesson for sure. But the situation now, except for sharing with me, there's really no other way. Determination to study finally won over fear. She cautiously leaned in closer to me. Thanks. But before she could see a single word, I quickly pulled the test paper back. You can watch, but I have a condition. She was stunned. Didn't he just say to share? Is the new desk mate really starting to tease me? What to do? In her head, countless bullying scenes flashed by. I won't watch anymore. I chuckled out loud, handing the white rabbit creamy candies in my hand to her. Help me throw these candies away. The trash can is on your side. Xu Nianchu cried out in disbelief. Throw away? Like this? Yeah. I brought too much today. Can't eat them all. She looked at me in surprise, finding I really seemed to have no other intention, looked down at the handful of candy. Still couldn't help but remind me, but these candies are still good. It's too wasteful. I was waiting for exactly this sentence. Ah! Then you eat them. Eat. Eat. That's right. I don't want to eat them. You won't let me throw them. If you don't eat them, who will? My dad forces me to bring some every day, says it's to prevent hypoglycemia. But I'm this healthy, how could I get hypoglycemia? If you don't eat them, then help me throw them away. Xu Nianchu finally carefully put the candy in her desk. Thanks. No problem. Knew she wouldn't bear to waste them. Seeing my goal achieved, I didn't bother her anymore. Focused on listening to the lecture for the whole period. Discovered that just like literature, I could remember everything clearly after just one look. I couldn't help but laugh. This rebirth benefit is really good. So in this life, no matter which university Xu Nianchu gets into, I can definitely get into. On the other hand, Xu Nianchu was a bit dazed. The new deskmate not only shared the paper, but also gave me candy to eat. Why? Why is it like this? The pale-faced girl sitting in the classroom, stomach growling with hunger, but lunch on the table was just a few milk candies. Not long ago, the girl's grandfather, as usual, went up the mountain to pick herbs to sell, ended up falling from a height and breaking his leg. The family's only source of income was cut off. The obedient and sensible girl, to not add burden to the family, decided to eat only 1 meal a day. But due to hypoglycemia from long-term malnutrition, she collapsed to the ground as soon as she stood up. I stood in the corridor watching the scene before me. Unbearably heartbroken, I finally understood what Xu Nianchu meant by these candies saving her life. Really meant those candies were the most effective medicine for hypoglycemia. In the past life, because Xu Nianchu had no money for food, plus being bullied for so long she didn't want to communicate, she relied on these few candies to hold on for a few days. I really wanted to rush in and tell her not to treat herself like that, but her personality is very stubborn. Rushing in suddenly would definitely crush her remaining self-esteem. I don't understand why fate forces a small girl to bear these things. I can't even imagine how she walked this path alone in my past life. I turned around and headed toward the cafeteria. The her from before, her world was completely pitch black. So from now on, let me be the one to light it up for her. Xu Nianchu sat dazedly for a long time before feeling her dizziness subside a little. Today was her first day at No. One high school, although the teacher promised to help waive her tuition and apply for a subsidy scholarship, it would take a few days for the application to be approved. She only had the exact 10 yuan her grandmother gave her when she left. She didn't know how long she could make it last. She thought she could endure skipping lunch, but she didn't expect her blood sugar to drop. Luckily, her deskmate gave her some milk candy. She couldn't resist and ate one. Sure enough, she felt much better. This deskmate of hers might be a bit wasteful, but he doesn't seem that bad. What kind of person is this deskmate? Really, why isn't he anything like what others say? The people I knew before were also completely different. While she was lost in thought, my voice drifted in from the door. Fatty Liu, I told you I couldn't finish it all, but you insisted on buying so much. Look, what are we gonna do now, boss? I was just afraid you wouldn't have enough to eat. Well, if nobody's gonna eat it, let's just throw it away then. Fatty and I talked as we walked until we were right in front of Xu Nianchu. Only then did she see that I was holding a chicken leg, bread, and milk. She quickly pressed her hands against her growling stomach, afraid that someone might hear it. Hey, help me throw these away. Will you? Huh. Throwing it away again. Yeah, I can't eat it anyway. Xu Nianchu hesitated. Just when she didn't know what to do, I spoke up again. If you think it's a waste, then eat it for me. I really can't stuff another bite in. As I spoke, I let out a loud burp. She looked up in surprise. No, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Just consider it doing me a favor. If my dad finds out I'm throwing food away, I'm going to get a beating. But Xu Nian. Before she could finish her sentence, I quickly stuffed the bread into her mouth. No buts, hurry up and eat. Her eyes went wide instantly, looking at me in disbelief. Thanks a lot, little deskmate. I smiled casually and pinched her cheek. Xu Nianchu frantically took the bread out of her mouth, knowing she couldn't give it back now. The cool sensation on her cheek made her face start to burn hot. I should be the one thanking you. He gave me food and even thanked me. How could someone like that be a bad person? Those other people must have misunderstood him. She took a small bite of the bread. The delicious aroma filled her senses, giving her a sense of satisfaction she had never felt before. But remembering that I called her little deskmate again, she spoke up very seriously. My name is Xu Nianchu. Calling her little deskmate was really too intimate, and she wasn't used to it. Got it, little deskmate. Xu Nianchu trembled slightly. This person really is... Yo. Forget it. Let him call me whatever he wants. He'll get used to it slowly. Watching her eat so earnestly, I couldn't help but chuckle. That's how it should be. I took out my exam papers and quickly focused on studying. There are only 100 days left until the college entrance exam. There's no time to waste. I need to make use of every single second. Fatty, sitting nearby, watched this scene in a daze. Totally shook. Earlier in the cafeteria when I found him, he was curious. He didn't expect to ask him to help put on a show. Even more unexpected was that the show was for the new deskmate. It's over. Brother Zhou is really in deep this time, but Fatty decided to support me unconditionally. After all, he also thought that young Roxy girl really wasn't good enough for his brother Zhou. Meanwhile, I hit a snag while looking at the exam paper. I didn't quite understand the final major math problem. Math isn't like literature, where you can just memorize things. Math requires understanding, but my foundation is too poor. Just when I was at a loss, I heard the little deskmate next to me whisper, "This problem should be solved like this." She took out a pen and paper and seriously wrote down the solution. After writing it, she handed the paper to me. If you don't understand, ask me. She felt that since she ate my food, she should do something in return. Student Xu Nianchu. The back door of the classroom suddenly opened. It was the voice of the homeroom teacher, Liu Qinjin. Curious, I turned my head. I saw him carrying a lunchbox, standing there panting, as bringing food for the little deskmate. During lunch at the cafeteria, Fatty told me about Xu Nianchu's situation. Boss, I asked around and got the details. This Xu Nianchu girl, her life is super tough. She was originally a top student at No. 2 high school. Extremely smart, but her family situation is terrible, so bad she often has nothing to eat. Even though No. 2 high waived her tuition, she's a bit timid, so she was constantly bullied. Eventually, she couldn't take it anymore and dropped out. The teachers at No. 2 high couldn't bear to see such a talented kid lose her education, so they deliberately leaked the news of her dropping out to Zhang Beipi at No. 1 high school. Zhang Beipi values talent, so he took our homeroom teacher, Old Li, to her house to persuade her. Finally, they brought her to No. 1 high school and put her in our class. Thinking back on it now, it makes sense, since the homeroom teacher knew Xu Nianchu's situation. He couldn't possibly ignore her. Liu Qinjin, standing over there, saw Xu Nianchu drinking milk and was stunned. Xu Nianchu was also stunned. She quickly put the milk carton down and stood up. Teacher, come out here for a moment. Xu Nianchu tiptoed out the door and stood before the homeroom teacher. Head lowered, Liu Qinjin looked at her with pity. I'm so sorry. I meant to bring you some food, but I was stuck in meetings until just now. Teacher, I've already eaten. Xu Nianchu bowed her head even lower. I saw. It's good that you ate. Student Xu Nianchu, you should keep doing that. Don't let yourself go hungry. If you run out of money, remember to tell me. He'll help you. Xu Nianchu felt a mix of joy and fear. Thank you. Teacher, it's nothing. Also, about your deskmate today, if he dares to bully you, don't pay attention to him. Just come tell me. I'll deal with him for you. Later, I'll figure out a suitable place to move your seat. Once I decide, I'll come change your seat this afternoon. He noticed Xu Nianchu's emotions were a bit off earlier and thought I was bullying her. Xu Nianchu looked up in panic. No, there's no need. Here? Li, please don't change my seat. Huh. No need to change. Lin Zhou didn't bully me. He's very nice. The food I just ate was from him. This morning he even gave me some milk candy. Even though others described me as a tyrant, Xu Nianchu felt that this deskmate was actually very good. She believed in her own judgment. If she changed seats, she would have to interact with a new deskmate, which was truly too difficult. The homeroom teacher looked at Xu Nianchu in shock. You're talking about Lin Zhou. How is that possible? It's a miracle if Lin Zhou isn't causing trouble. Since when is he kind? Wait, did he threaten you? No. He didn't threaten me. He really gave me food. He did make you do anything. Xu Nianchu nodded. He even listened attentively in class this morning. During recess, he read books, studied, and memorized things. Teacher, did you misunderstand him? The homeroom teacher saw that Xu Nianchu didn't look like she was lying, so he became even more confused. These two sitting together, is there some weird chemical reaction going on, or has Lin Zhou really changed his nature? He nodded skeptically. All right then. If he bullies you later, just tell me, and I'll change your seat. In the afternoon after school, Zhang Beipi called me to his office. I didn't know why he was suddenly looking for me at this time. On this day in my past life, Zhang Beipi also looked for me, but that was because my confession stunt in the morning had been reported. But this time I didn't confess, and I even gave the flowers to the teachers. Even if someone reported me, I could explain it clearly. However, when I arrived at Zhang Beipi's office and saw my dad sitting on the sofa, I suddenly felt a stinging in my nose. It's been 20 years, my 18-year-old self in the past life, after realizing Yun Roxy had always been deceiving me, began a life of debauchery, drowning in bars day and night. No matter how my dad advised me, I wouldn't listen. One time on the street, he made me angry. Didn't even stop at red lights, deliberately trying to shake him off. Unexpectedly, right at that moment, a car came rushing towards us. I rushed over and hugged him tight. Dad! It's so good that you're alive. My dad was stunned. You brat. What nonsense are you talking about? Let go. Being hugged by me like that, he was a bit unused to it, especially in front of outsiders. Here? Lin, please don't mind. This brat is suddenly going crazy. You'll teach him a lesson right now. Yo. No. It's all right. Lin Zhou, I didn't call your father here. It was some parents who didn't know the situation and called your dad. Your dad was worried and insisted on coming to check. He was afraid the school would expel you. My dad laughed sheepishly. Oh well, wasn't I worried? There. Do you believe it now? The school really has no intention of expelling Lin Zhou. Those parents didn't understand the situation either. They thought Lin Zhou was dating early. His bouquet of roses is still over there. It was a gift for us teachers. Ha ha ha. Zhang Beipi pointed to the roses that had been sitting in the corner all day. Here? Lin Zhou is a good kid. He'll explain things to those parents. You can rest assured. Good job. Son, you did well this time. You didn't make your old man lose face. After leaving the office, my dad mysteriously pulled me aside to a corner. Hey! You brat, tell me quickly, what did Zhang mean just now? He said your performance wasn't bad today. What did you perform today? Yo! Nothing much. Just solved 2 math problems correctly this afternoon. Dad! This is nothing. I've decided to study seriously. Things like this are expected. If there's nothing else, you'll head back to class first. Hey! Wait. I brought food for you. As he spoke, he took a lunchbox out of his bag. Inside were braised pork ribs and white rice. Here, get some nutrition in you. Then, he pulled a huge handful of white rabbit milk candy from his pocket. Take it. This is also your favorite. He saw me buying it often, so he mistakenly thought I liked eating it. I helplessly accepted the lunchbox and candy. Dad! Do you want to bring the whole house here for me too? Alright, Dad, I really have to go. Okay, go on then. I'll be waiting for you at home. I took 2 steps, then turned back. Dad, why don't you find me a mom? This time, the old man scolded me until I ran for my life. Xu Nianchu was sitting alone in the classroom. On her left was a book and a steamed bun with only 1 bite taken out. Prices in 2004 were very cheap. 2 small steamed buns like this only cost 5 mao. I could eat 8 of them in 1 meal, but she only bought 2. I took a deep breath and walked over, while she couldn't react in time. I quickly snatched the bun from her hand and took a bite. Xu Nianchu was startled and panicked. Completely frozen, the spot I bit happened to overlap perfectly with where she had bitten. Isn't this the indirect kiss they always talk about in TV dramas? Lin Zhou and I kissed. Oh my god. Xu Nianchu didn't even have time to think about why I snatched her bun. She only felt her cheeks burning hot, her head buzzing as if it were about to explode. How could someone eat a bun I've already eaten? Little desk mate. What's wrong? I deliberately took another bite of the bun. Hey, why is your face so red? She lowered her head abruptly, pressing her entire face against the desk. In this moment, she could almost confirm that I was teasing her, but she didn't know how to retort. All day today, my new desk mate has been helping me. Getting teased a little once in a while is probably okay. Right? No. I am stammering for a long while. Xu Nianchu still couldn't get a proper sentence out. She took a deep breath, finally regaining a bit of rationality. She picked up the remaining bun and handed it to me. You haven't eaten. Have you? If you want buns, I can give them to you. You don't have to snatch them. If it's not enough, I can go to the cafeteria and buy more for you. I accepted it without hesitation. My bad. I'm really hungry. I only like eating the cafeteria buns, but you don't need to go buy more. I still have rice. I placed the lunchbox in my hand onto the desk and quickly rummaged through the drawer. What? Xu Nianchu nodded blankly. Yo. Okay. Although her stomach was still hungry, since I helped her so much today, going hungry for one more meal didn't matter. Here, paying you back. I split half the rice and ribs for her. Xu Nianchu couldn't help swallowing her saliva, quickly turning her head away to stop looking. I don't need it. That won't do. I ate your buns. I'm not that hungry now, so I definitely can't finish this. If you don't eat it, it's wasted. My dad just brought this. If I waste it, I'll get scolded when I go home. I shoved the lunchbox directly into her hands, giving her absolutely no chance to refuse. Eat up. Xu Nianchu was a bit dazed. She felt like I was doing it on purpose, but she had no proof. I ignored her and finished the rest of the portion myself. Only then did she gingerly pick up a piece. She took a small bite. The ribs were tender, the flavor hitting her taste buds. She couldn't hold back anymore. Suppressing the flutter in her heart, she began to eat earnestly. As she ate, her eyes fell on me again. Her courage grew a little, being desk mates for half a day. This was the first time she looked at me from such a close distance. He really is very handsome. His skin is even smoother than most girls. When he eats, he doesn't smack his lips like other boys. He gave me food so many times today. It's all stuff I usually can't afford to eat. I was supposed to go hungry, but now I'm full. My desk mate isn't as bad as the teachers and students say. He's actually very nice. Early the next morning, I woke up on time for school. As soon as I got to class, I took the white rabbit milk candy from my pocket and gave it to Xu Nianchu. For today, help me out, but, little desk mate, I told you, there's candy every day. If you don't eat it, I really don't know what to do with it. Xu Nianchu silently accepted it. The morning study session today was English. The teacher assigned a passage for us to memorize. As soon as I picked up the book, I discovered a very serious problem. I couldn't read it. After dropping out of my past life, I never used English again. Even though I have the Rebirth bonus, I still didn't know how to pronounce words. Cast a pleading look at Xu Nianchu. Little desk mate. Huh. Xu Nianchu, who was buried in her studies, looked up from her book. Can you help me with one more thing? She shuddered. Don't tell me he's going to make me eat something again. I saw him bring a lunchbox this morning. Although the rice yesterday was delicious, and the candy is tasty too, I really don't want to eat Lin Just food every day. I can't. Nope, it's not that, little desk mate. I'm not asking you to eat. Then what is it? Xu Nianchu looked suspicious, feeling like I was about to come up with some weird idea again. Well, I pushed the book slightly towards her. I don't know how to read this. She seemed a bit incredulous. You don't know a single word? Remembering the red crosses all over his exam paper yesterday. She fell silent. Lin Zhou probably isn't joking, but he was so good at math yesterday. Did he just learn it? That's really impressive. Thinking this, Xu Nianchu pulled my book over. Then read after me. She read a word, and I repeated after her. I have to say, her pronunciation was extremely standard. She was especially serious when teaching me. Since I had the Rebirth advantage, I learned extremely fast. Before long, I had learned all the vocabulary in the passage and memorized the whole text while I was at it. Xu Nianchu was still intently teaching me, afraid of missing any detail. Her eyelashes were very long. Her small frame leaned towards me. I could hold her in my arms just by reaching out. Sigh. I really want to hold her in my arms for the rest of my life. My fingers twitched slightly, but I eventually put them down. Little desk mate, have you thought about which university you'll apply to? As long as I know where she intends to go, you'll have a direction to strive for. Xu Nianchu's small body froze. University. I haven't thought about it yet. I don't even know if I can go to university. I heard university tuition is very expensive, and living expenses are also high. My family doesn't have any money left. Then start thinking about it from now on. Looking at her expression, I could almost guess her thoughts. Now. That's right. Start from now. There are still 100 days left. It's plenty of time, but you will definitely be able to go to university. Trust me. I swear on my honor. Xu Nianchu's heart also rippled. She suddenly began to yearn for university life. University. What does university look like? She has lived in this small county town since childhood and has never seen it before. University. Is it university? University is beautiful. It's wonderful. You can meet all kinds of people. You can do many things you couldn't do before and make lots and lots of friends. No one cares what you wear, and no one notices what you eat. That's right. You can even fall in love. I recounted all the good things about university I knew from my past life, listed them all out. Her eyes lit up as she listened. Really? Is it that good? Yes. So start thinking about it from now on. Okay, I guarantee you will definitely pass. Hearing my words, Xu Nianchu felt as if she'd taken a calming pill. She nodded vigorously. Okay. I definitely must go to university. Lin Zhou. Xu Nianchu. What are you two doing? Suddenly, the teacher's voice came from the podium. The two of us were stunned. Only then did we realize we had been talking for too long. We almost forgot we were in class. The English teacher's expression looked very grim. You've finished memorizing the lesson. Have you memorized it? Wang Min clearly didn't believe it. Yes, we have. Xu Nianchu is a newly transferred student. She doesn't understand well, but she knows me all too well. Fine then, since you've memorized it, then recite it for me to hear. Xu Nianchu. Start with you. About Xu Nianchu's situation, the homeroom teacher and Zhang Beipi hadn't had time to tell the other subject teachers yet. Wang Min only knew her name and didn't know how her studies were, so she didn't have a good expression towards her either. Xu Nianchu froze slightly, lowering her head deeply. What to do? What to do? So many people looking at me like this. I really can't do it. Her whole body panicked. Back at high school, because of this condition of hers, teachers basically wouldn't call on her to answer in class. She was so nervous her mind went blank, suddenly couldn't remember a single vocabulary word anymore. Seeing she said nothing, Wang Min called out again. Xu Nianchu, if you haven't memorized the lesson, then take your book and stand at the back of the class. Xu Nianchu's nose stung. I did memorize it. I clearly memorized it. Why is it like this? I don't want to be like this. Teacher. At this moment, I also realized something was wrong. Turning my face sideways, I saw my little deskmate trembling slightly. Recalling the first day I met her, she didn't even dare to introduce herself. This seems a bit complicated now. Although she can converse fluently with me, she is still timid. Always insecure. A timid person wanting to stand under the sun again is not that easy. Thinking of this, I hurriedly raised my hand. Wang, what? You want to read first? No, it's like this. Wang, I think if the two of us read one by one, it would waste too much time. Morning review time isn't much anyway. See if this works. I will recite the text, and let student Xu write it down as dictation. Xu Nianchu jerked her head up. Is Lin Zhou bailing me out? Hearing that, Wang Min nodded. Alright. Xu Nianchu was finally relieved. She looked up, glanced at me, seeming to receive encouragement. She took a pen out of her pencil case, and started writing the dictation. Wang Min also walked up in front of us. Observing carefully, unlike the Chinglish pronunciation of other students, my English pronunciation is extremely standard. Wang Min was a bit surprised. She lowered her head to look at Xu Nianchu. Her handwriting was elegant. When writing, every movement was fluid like flowing water, without any interruption. Waiting for me to finish reading, Wang Min's tense face gradually revealed a smile. Very good. Just as she finished speaking, Xu Nianchu also finished writing. Wang Min took the exercise book she handed over, once again smiling with satisfaction. This is also very good. The whole class was dumbfounded. Did the deskmate memorize English that fast? This is too unreal. Where is the influencing the deskmate studies part? Why does it feel like he's being influenced by his deskmate instead? Early spring morning, the sky still brightened a bit late. When school ended at 7 a.m., it was still gray outside. Fatty kept urging me to run fast to eat. I set my eyes on my little deskmate. I tricked her into eating 2 meals yesterday and a handful of candies. She is clearly smarter today. How should I coax her today's meal? The bell rang. Xu Nianchu's voice suddenly rang out. I have money today. Teacher Liu gave me 100 yuan this morning. You don't need to give me food anymore. Teacher Liu. That's right. He also said he would sponsor me 100 yuan every month from now on. Wait until I finish the university entrance exam. I will earn money to pay him back. She had eaten 2 meals from me, plus a bunch of white rabbit creamy candies. Xu Nianchu could almost confirm that I intentionally fed her, although she didn't know why, but she knew it couldn't go on like this forever. So today, when the homeroom teacher offered money, she thought about it and still accepted it in the name of a loan and promised to work part-time to pay it back. Teacher Liu was really enthusiastic. I couldn't help muttering, how am I supposed to approach my little deskmate like this? What did you say? Nothing, I said. Teacher Liu is really kind. Yeah. That's right. I have to go to the cafeteria now too. Afraid I wouldn't believe her. Xu Nianchu stood up, took the lunchbox out of the desk drawer, quickly left her seat. The second period in the morning was the homeroom teacher's literature class. When there were 5 minutes left, he stopped lecturing. Students, the rewards for this exam are basically done. I and other teachers have summarized after the exam, feeling there is a more effective learning method. We want to set up study groups for you. Each group is 4 people. Everyone can discuss among themselves. After forming groups, The study commissary, compile the list. Submit the results to me before school ends today. The first mock exam is coming soon. Our class performance is always in the top 5 of the 10 grade 12 classes, but never made it to the top 2. This time I hope everyone tries a little harder. Strive to achieve a good rank. After class dismissed, study commissary Fan Yunju walked up to Xu Nianchu. Classmate, I am the class study commissary. Fan Yunj, also always the top student in our class. This time I will form a very excellent group. Do you want to join my group? I can help you supplement the knowledge you haven't learned. Although Xu Nianchu was a top student at No. 2 High School, but students from No. 2 High School are all those rejected by No. 1 High School during the high school entrance exam. He didn't think Xu Nianchu studied better than him. In my past life, Fan Yunji and I didn't get along. This guy liked Yun Roxy, but didn't dare to admit it openly, all day long speaking in a sarcastic tone in front of me. He certainly has no good intentions doing this. Xu Nianchu was stunned hearing that. Don't know why, she simply didn't like this person in front of her. Moreover, she didn't seem to need to study with others, but she didn't know how to refuse. She unconsciously looked towards me. Even she herself didn't realize. Since when I had become her heart pill. Don't be afraid, little desk mate. Just choose whatever you want. No need to care what others think. Xu Nianchu nodded. I've thought about who to choose. The pale-faced girl sitting in the classroom, her whole body trembling incessantly. Today is the second day she transferred to No. 1 High School. At the previous school, because of being frequently bullied, leading to her not daring to open her mouth to speak in front of strangers. After coming to No. 1 High School, she originally thought she would be teased by classmates again. But unexpectedly, the bully deskmate in other people's mouths, which is me, protects her anytime, anywhere, not only showing her the exam paper, but also thinking of ways to give her good food. And right now, facing the group invitation from study commissary Fan Yunj, she didn't know how to voice her refusal, so she turned her head, looking at me with pitiful eyes. Don't be afraid, little deskmate. Just choose whatever you want. No need to care what others think. Xu Nianchu nodded. I've thought about who to choose. Student Fan. Sorry, I want to be in a group with Lin Zhou. Huh. Fan Yunj was stunned. Have you thought it through? Huh. Student Shu. Maybe you don't know Lin Zhou's academic performance. He ranks last every time. I've thought it through, but I want to choose him. He's not only bad at studying, his character is also terrible. Student Fan. I choose Lin Zhou. Fan Yunju was dumbfounded. He opened his mouth, couldn't say a word. I sat beside her, nodding in satisfaction. My little deskmate dares to open her mouth to refuse others now. This is a good thing. At this moment, Fatty gloomily came closer. Brother Zhou. No one is on my team. All spots are full. I can only group with you 2. The whole class plus Xu Nianchu, total 72 people. If divided into groups of 4, it divides into 18 groups. Just enough for Liu Ximing to be left out. There should be one more person left out too. I looked around. Where is the other person? Just as I finished speaking, I saw a petite girl approaching. The reason I say she is small is because this girl has a round doll-like face. There are also 2 dimples on her face, always smiling brightly. Right now, her usually smiling round face was wrinkled up. Seems like she wanted to approach us, but seemed afraid to. Finally had to tiptoe, walking to the side of the only female student. Xu Nianchu, reaching out to tug at her sleeve, looking up with a miserable smile and saying, Student Shu, can you take me in? Xu Nianchu instinctively took a step back. A look of uneasiness and panic flashed across her face. Huh! The round-faced girl almost cried. Turns out you don't agree. Then what should I do? Liu Ximing beside them was a bit stunned. Qian Gagua, why are you left out too? Impossible. Student Qian Gagua has average academic performance. Not good but not bad either. Perhaps because she was born with a smiley face, so her popularity is quite good. I was also very curious why she was the one left out. Hearing that, she became even more gloomy. I was in a rush just now, went to the restroom first, didn't expect that when I came back. They had all finished forming groups, forgot about me completely. Why am I so miserable? So do you want to join our group? Qian Gagua was slightly stunned, a bit unbelieving. Me? I can? Of course you can. Our group is lacking people. Little deskmate. What do you think? Xu Nianchu had also reacted by now. She shyly withdrew her hand. Sure? Ha ha ha. You guys are so nice. The reason I invited her to my study group, mostly because she is sociable, carefree, laughing all day long, born optimist, completely opposite to Xu Nianchu. Perhaps such a personality can improve Xu Nianchu's social anxiety a bit. I want to give it a try. My little deskmate should also have her own friends. Qian Gagua right now was so carefree that she completely forgot about just being rejected by Xu Nianchu. She naturally walked up and linked arms with Xu Nianchu. That's great. Thank you, Student Shu. At noon, I gave the rib rice portion my dad made to Fatty, shoved it to him, and I went to the cafeteria window to buy another meal. After finding Xu Nianchu, I sat straight down opposite her, then picked up the chicken leg in my tray and gave it to her. Xu Nianchu was a bit confused. Where are your ribs? Sigh. Don't mention it. Stolen by Liu Ximing. That guy is really scary, kept demanding to eat my ribs. I couldn't win against him, had to come in the cafeteria to eat. She skeptically picked up the chicken leg in the tray. But I can get full, no need to eat the chicken leg. I know, but shouldn't we help each other? I like eating vegetables, you like eating meat. Perfect match. Having said that, I picked up a chopstick of white cabbage from her tray. Xu Nianchu looked at me blankly for a while, seeing me eating very deliciously. She had to lower her head and continue eating, but I fell into deep thought. These past 2 days seem a bit too obvious. Still have to think of a way to properly eat with my little desk mate. The next few days, our group of 4 started a crazy study mode. Weekend, I went to the barbershop to get a neat haircut. This is before the cut. This is after the cut. The photo doesn't show all my handsomeness, but you just need to know I am devastatingly handsome now. Near the barbershop is a bamboo forest, snow falling softly. Indescribably beautiful. I looked up, closed my eyes to feel it deeply. Don't know why, the image of my little desk mate suddenly appeared in my mind. If she stood in the snow like this, it must be very beautiful. Thinking so, I turned back towards school intending to find her. This last snowfall in Jianqing fell for half the afternoon. Xu Nianchu at the dormitory heard I was looking for her, panicked and jumped down from the bed, ran out then turned back, grabbed the bag by the bed, hurriedly ran out again. Getting downstairs, she looked around. Where is Linzhou? Didn't he say he came to find me? Thinking about it, suddenly felt someone draping a coat over her back. Looking up, she saw me, a whole head taller than her, smiling at her. My messy hair was gone, changed to a neat hairstyle, making the whole face much brighter. This is the first time Xu Nianchu saw such a clean and handsome boy. She stared blankly, don't know how much time passed, until she felt her head being tapped lightly. Why is my little deskmate so silly, going out without even wearing a coat? It's very cold. She ran too fast just now, so she didn't have time to put on a coat. Her cheeks were now frozen red like apples. Ah! I don't need that. I'm not cold. Just as she finished speaking, she shivered. Oh no! Died of embarrassment. Stop fussing. Put it on quickly. You catch a cold later. Stop fussing. Why did he use such intimate words? Ah! Not right. Not right. How could he use such intimate words? With me, in her impression, besides her deceased parents, no one has ever said such words to her. Her head bowed lower and lower. I'm going to put on my coat. Wait for me. She clumsily escaped from my arms, just took 2 steps, then realized something. Ah! This is for you. Handing the bag in her hand to me, the young girl then thumpingly ran towards the dormitory. She didn't even realize she was still wearing my puffer jacket on her shoulders. Looking at her fleeing figure, I found it a bit funny. I lowered my head, looking at the bag in my hand she threw over. Inside was a scarf. Men's style. Is this the scarf my little deskmate gave me? This type of wool can only be made by hand knitting. Before, she said she was busy on the weekend. Turns out it was for this. My eyes stung. A feeling called sweetness rushed into my heart. I could even imagine the girl sitting at the head of the bed, holding the newly bought yarn, knitting the scarf stitch by stitch. Xu Nianchu rushed back to the dormitory, leaning her back against the door, gasping for breath. The scene just now almost suffocated her. Yo! Xu Nianchu, why are you wearing a boy's coat? The roommate's voice pulled her back to reality. Only then did she realize my coat was still on her. Yo! Xu Nianchu, don't tell me you have a boyfriend. I do not, she immediately retorted. Her voice also got a bit louder, not giving the roommate a chance to ask further. She grabbed her own coat, put it on and ran out the door, ran straight to my side. She hurriedly handed the coat back to me, put it on quickly. Why did you put on the scarf? It's okay. I'm not cold. How is that possible? Look, your face is red from the cold, Xu Nianchu said while grabbing the scarf. I also took the coat and put it on. Waiting until I finished putting it on, she handed me the scarf again, put it on. I didn't take the scarf, just stood still looking at her, being stared at for too long. She started to get shy again. You treated me to so many meals, gave me candy every day. I really don't know what you lack, so I wanted to knit you a scarf, thinking it would be useful since it snowed today. But yesterday I didn't knit it well. Now the snow seems to have stopped too. Linzhou, do you want it? Waiting for a long time, seeing I still hadn't taken the scarf. Could it be because winter is ending soon? Linzhou doesn't need a scarf anymore. Thinking so, this gift of mine seems a bit redundant. If you don't want it, ill. Who said I don't want it? Little deskmate, when giving a gift, you have to look up. I stood in front of her and put on the scarf. Little deskmate, thank you. It's very warm, really very warm. Living 2 lives. This scarf is the most precious gift I have ever received. Thinking of this, I smiled gently and patted Xu Nianchu's head. Let's go. Where to? It's snowing. Want to go out for a walk? Xu Nianchu thought for a moment, then nodded. Okay. The weather was very cold, but our hearts felt very warm. On the commercial street of Jianqing, there weren't many people. I walked in front. Xu Nianchu followed behind. A few times, I tried slowing down to walk side by side with her, but I realized that as long as I slowed down, the little deskmate would also slow her pace. She seemed a bit hesitant. Right now, Xu Nianchu was very nervous. She had grown up so much, yet she had never gone walking down the street with a boy before. This feeling was just so weird. She didn't say anything either, just foolishly following behind my back like that, until I stopped in front of a stall. The stall was full of fur hats, earmuffs, and scarves. I picked up a pink and white blended wool hat and looked at her. Lin Zhou, do you want to buy this? That's right, try it on. Try it. Xu Nianchu looked at me blankly. Me? Yeah, you try it. Xu Nianchu dazedly took it, looking a bit panicked. Why is he buying girls' stuff? Is he buying it for the girl he likes? The moment she had this thought, she suddenly felt a bit uncomfortable in her heart. She didn't know where this discomfort came from. She just felt her chest tighten. She sniffled, asking carefully and cautiously, I might be a bit thin, it fits me well, but another girl might not necessarily fit it. You should still let someone else. Before she could finish her sentence, I stepped forward and put the hat directly on her head. Xu Nianchu's whole body trembled. A strange feeling started spreading from her heart to her whole body. Her mind went blank again. What is Lin Zhou doing? What is he doing? Why is he? I looked at my stunned friend, suddenly bursting into laughter. This little deskmate is really too shy, but this hat looks very good on her. I turned around again, picked up the earmuffs, and put the matching scarf on her. After doing all that, I carefully admired her for a moment. Suits you well. The boss sitting inside saw this and walked over. Hey, young man, you have a good eye. Your girlfriend looks very pretty wearing it. It matches perfectly with the one you're wearing around your neck. Ha ha ha. I'm not his girlfriend. Ha ha. I think so too. Xu Nianchu raised her head in surprise, looking at me in disbelief. What did he see? Did he see us as a couple? But why didn't he refute it? I am clearly not his girlfriend. Seeing that I really intended to pay, she hurriedly pulled me back. Hey, Lin Zhou, don't buy it. It's too expensive. But I quickly took out the money and handed it over. It's fine. You knitted a scarf for me. I buying you a set is very reasonable. But that was to thank you for giving me food before. I'll still give you food in the future. If you feel embarrassed, then knit me a matching hat and gloves too. That way, I can just happen to use couple items with my little deskmate. But winter is about to pass. Isn't there still next winter? Next winter won't do. Then the winter after that. And the one after that. A lifetime is very long. There will always be a time to use them. Xu Nianchu was stunned by the words a lifetime. Why bring up a lifetime all of a sudden? Does Lin Zhou want to be with me for a lifetime? Nope. What am I thinking? How could it be a lifetime? We aren't lovers. After finishing shopping, Xu Nianchu still dazedly followed behind me. After a long while, she summoned all her courage to call me back. Student Lin Zhou, why are you so good to me? Ever since transferring schools to sit at the same desk with me, Xu Nianchu felt her life was changing, and these changes mainly came from me. From childhood until now, no classmate had ever been this good to her. Xu Nianchu was a little scared. I saw the look in her eyes, both expectant and fearful. Person who locks herself away, afraid of others touching or getting close, although she is gradually accepting it, but she is still extremely cautious. If I act too hastily, this girl will definitely be scared away. Thinking of this, I stepped up and gently patted her head. Because we are friends. Friends, although she felt the feeling I gave her was not simply just friends. But Xu Nianchu still asked doubtfully, are we friends already? Could it be that we aren't? I don't know. I didn't have friends before. Those who approached her, if not to ask her to do homework for them, then it was to think of ways to bully her. Well, now you do. Me. Liu Shiming and Qian Gogo are all your friends. You are all my friends, but the feeling Liu Shiming and Qian Gogo give me is completely different from this. Little deskmate, don't tell me you don't want to be friends with us. Nope. I don't. I want to. I do want to. Then try to accept us. But what do friends do? Friends can study together, eat together, play together, take the university entrance exam together. That good. That's right. So don't reject us. Remember, if you have any difficulties, find us. We will all help you. Xu Nianchu listened very seriously. After listening for a while, the corners of her mouth lifted in a smile. The word friends is really nice. The sky gradually darkened, saying goodbye to her at the school gate. I turned around to leave. Xu Nianchu watched my back, then opened her mouth to call out, Lin Zhou. The girl put her hands in her padded coat pockets. I am very happy today. Good. I know. I've decided which university I want to apply to. Which one? I want to apply to Nanjing University. When saying this, she didn't stumble over a single word. Extremely fluent. Looking at that appearance, it seems she wasn't scared at all. Alright, if that's the case. Little deskmate, I'll go with you. The next day, when I stood in the classroom with my new hairstyle, the classmates fell silent. Don't know who shouted out a damn handsome guy. Wow, who is this? So handsome. Hey, why does he look like Lin Zhou? Wow, is that really Lin Zhou? This hairstyle suits him too well. I declare from today, Lin Zhou is my new male god. Hearing the noise around, Xu Nianchu also looked up, her hand still resting on the pink and white scarf she just took off. Only when the class bell rang did the classmates quiet down. Fatty Edley flipped through his book for a while, then looked over at me. Brother Zhou. Brother Zhou, why is the little deskmate not surprised at all to see you? Since stepping into the classroom, Fatty had always been watching Xu Nianchu's reaction. After all, that's the person his brother Zhou likes. But unexpectedly, Xu Nianchu was always very calm, looking at the little deskmate. I curl my lips. Is little deskmate for you to call? Xu Nianchu also heard this sentence. Her heart skipped a beat. A while later, she raised her head. It's okay for him to call me that. That won't do. You can only be my little deskmate. This domineering tone made her face turn red in an instant. She nervously lowered her head again, deciding to ignore me. What does he mean I am his? I obviously belong to myself. What on earth is this guy saying? After school, Kan Gogo hugged her lunchbox, skipping over, linking arms with Xu Nianchu. Starting to chatter, Xu Nianchu was stunned, instinctively wanted to shake off King Gogo's hand. Looking up, she saw me looking at her. Lin Zhou said we are friends, so I can't reject them. Maybe I really can try to be friends with everyone. Kan Gogo was talking. Her eyes fell on Xu Nianchu's scarf. Yo! Xu Nianchu, why are you wearing a scarf? It doesn't seem very cold today. Xu Nianchu's face reddened. She didn't know what was wrong with herself either. Just now seeing me put it on, she put hers on too. Lin Zhou. You also, Kan Gogo froze, swallowing the words on the tip of her tongue. Looking back and forth between us, her heart suddenly jumped. No way! At this moment, Fatty, who had been wondering all morning, also came closer. Kan Gogo, you noticed it too, right? What do you think is going on between them? Don't they know it's hot? Before he could finish, he was pinched hard by Kan Gogo. Fatty screamed, ouch. Why did you pinch me? Lu Shiming, do you want to die? Why shout so loud? I'm about to starve to death. Gogo, let's go get food first. Letting Kan Gogo join our team was indeed correct. This girl is much more perceptive than Fatty once she gets it. This week, Xu Nianchu went to the cafeteria every meal to buy steamed buns, because the buns there were big enough. That way, she could spend very little money and still be full. After eating, I gave my lunchbox to Fatty, signaling for the three of them to go back to class first, while I turned and went to window number 2 of the cafeteria. That was where Xu Nianchu had eaten all week. I couldn't watch her eat so poorly every day. Directly giving her food clearly wasn't working. I decided to start from the cafeteria. After returning to class, I tossed the egg in my hand on Xu Nianchu's desk. The boss just gave it to me. Gave it again. That's right. He said I'm too handsome today, attracting so many people to come eat. His business has improved a lot, so he specially gave me an egg. I'm full. Giving it to you. This reason left Xu Nianchu unsure how to refute. It had to be said. Lin Zhou really was very handsome today. At the cafeteria, many people's eyes were on him. Only thing is, Lin Zhou, this is the last time I eat an egg you give me? Later I will buy it myself. Apart from this way, she couldn't think of any other way to refuse me. I always find ways to stuff food on her. She felt very guilty in her heart. No problem. I nodded while taking out my textbook. Xu Nianchu was stunned. Why is Lin Zhou so agreeable today? Could it be, as thinking of some other way? I have to pay attention. Can't be tricked again. During lunch, the 4 of us went to the cafeteria together again, except King Gogo pulled Fatty along, intentionally walking a bit faster. This time Xu Nianchu actively walked in front of me. Today, no matter what, I cannot let Lin Zhou have any chance to buy food for me again. I must get food before Lin Zhou. Then it'll take a bit more. Take so much I can't finish it. That way Lin Zhou will have no reason to fatten me up. Boss, give me a serving of rice, a serving of shredded potatoes, an egg, a chicken leg. This should be enough. Right? Xu Nianchu felt her wallet hurt while guarding against me behind her. Cannot give this guy a chance to pay. Even if it's expensive, I have to pay myself. I can buy it and not finish it. Save some to eat for the next meal. Alright, that's 1 yuan in total. The boss voice rang out. Xu Nianchu froze. 1 yuan, a serving of rice and shredded potatoes is already 1.2 yuan. Adding egg and chicken leg, it should be over 6 yuan at least. Why is it only 1 yuan? Boss, I also ordered an egg and a chicken leg. I know, eggs and chicken legs are free. The school has registered a study subsidy for you. In the future when you come to eat at my place, eggs and chicken legs are both free. Only other dishes cost money. Don't forget. Little girl, the fat boss said and winked at me, quickly getting rice for Xu Nianchu. This was all a script he and I discussed this morning. I bring this handsome face to this window to get food. Many classmates will also flock here, just spending a chicken leg and an egg in exchange for such booming business. The fat boss is blooming with joy inside. He decided to give me an extra chicken leg later too. Is that so? Yeah. Hurry up, I still have to serve rice to the people behind. Yes. Xu Nianchu took the rice, walking skeptically to the table to wait. I got my food and walked over. She was still a bit dazed, always feeling this couldn't be unrelated to me. What's wrong? Little deskmate, our school's subsidy isn't bad. Eat up. Get full so you can tutor me. Why? You don't suspect me of colluding with the cafeteria. Do you? Little desk mate. Although my family is okay, I can't afford to support this. Buying you chicken legs and eggs every day? It must be Zhang Bapi and Mir Li, who asked the school for you. Just eat with peace of mind, do well on your exams. Getting into a good university is repaying them. She still didn't quite dare to believe it. Is that so? Yeah, that's exactly it. Trust me. She finally nodded skeptically. Only Lu Shiming and Kai and Gogo looked confused. Why don't we two get chicken legs? In early March, the weather gradually warmed up. The winter jasmine by the road seemed completely unaffected by the heavy snow. Blooming vibrantly. On a beautiful morning, we faced the first mock exam. The homeroom teacher stood on the podium encouraging everyone. Students, about that study group, it's been going on for almost 2 weeks. This mock exam is the time to test your results. Don't hide your skills. Show your true strength. After saying these words, the teacher looked at me and Xu Nianchu. Lin Zhou. Xu Nianchu, are you too confident? Yes. Fan Yunj, who wasn't called, looked at me disdainfully. Teacher, rest assured, this time I will definitely lead class 2 to improve. I'll get first place for you to see. As for Lin Zhou, just don't come in last place. I couldn't be bothered with him. Turning around to call Xu Nianchu. Little desk mate, let's go take the exam. Xu Nianchu, who was packing her pencil case, looked up, but we aren't in the same exam room. I'm taking the exam with Q and Gogo. It's fine. I'll walk you guys over. Xu Nianchu raised her head, seeing me looking at her with a serious face. Eyes full of warmth, she hugged her pencil case, scampering towards Qian Go. No need. I know the way. Qian Gogo was just about to look for her when she was startled. Xu Nianchu, this is the first time you've come to find me. You aren't afraid of me anymore. Xu Nianchu was still a bit scared, but if she stood with me, it would clearly attract more attention. Not scared. We are friends. Ha ha ha. Right. We are friends now. Then let's go take the exam together. I watched their backs with peace of mind. The little deskmate knows how to laugh and talk with classmates now. Not bad. After walking for a while, Qian Gogo noticed I kept following them. She intentionally slowed down, pulling Xu Nianchu, who had her head down. Hey Xu Nianchu. Huh, what is it? Look at Lin Zhou quickly. What about Lin Zhou? She turned back doubtfully, seeing me walking not far behind them. What is he? That's right. Why does he keep following us? Nianchu, do you think it's because of you? Because of me? Yes, because of you. Haven't you noticed Lin Zhou is always looking at you? Does he? Say, do you think Lin Zhou likes you? Qian Gogo's curiosity for gossip flared up. Before she just quietly gossiped with Fatty. She never asked the person involved. Xu Nianchu is timid. She was afraid asking directly would scare her. But Xu Nianchu seems a bit different today. She proactively came to talk to me. Asking a little should be fine. Right? Xu Nianchu panicked and waved her hands. No. Impossible. How could it be? Qian Gogo, don't talk nonsense. The exam is coming up. Let's walk faster. No. Wait, not getting an answer. Qian Gogo was a bit unwilling to give up. Xu Nianchu, is there really nothing? Can't you feel it? No, but I see Lin Zhou is always very concerned about you. Xu Nianchu stiffened. That is because we are friends. Lin Zhou said so. We are friends. Friends caring for each other is very normal. Friends. Our friends don't care like this. Look at me. I'm your friend too. Is the way we get along the same as you and Lin Zhou? Also, that scarf of yours was a gift from Lin Zhou. Right? Have you ever seen Lin Zhou give me or Lu Shiming gifts? Hearing these words, Xu Nianchu was stunned again. Are they the same? Not the same. Qian Gogo nodded seriously. Nope. Impossible. You must have misunderstood. It's the same, she explained in a panic, but her heart was in a tangle. Like, how is that possible? I'm this ugly. How could Lin Zhou like me? Lin Zhou must be only a little blockhead like you wouldn't see it. Qian Gogo pulled Xu Nianchu back. Alright, let's not talk about this anymore. We still have exams today. Don't overthink it. Until reaching the exam room door, Xu Nianchu was still dazed. Does Lin Zhou really treat me differently? The girl clumsily sat in the exam room. Her heart was already a chaotic mess. The words Qian Gogo just said kept echoing in her head. Does Lin Zhou really treat me differently? Like me? How is that possible? How could Lin Zhou possibly like me? Xu Nianchu decided to go out for some fresh air. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to take the exam in this state. There weren't many people left in the hallway at this time. Xu Nianchu just kept her head down and walked. She suddenly felt a strong force. The next moment, she crashed into a warm chest. Be careful. What are you spacing out for? Xu Nianchu froze. It seems I bumped into Lin Zhou's arms. Is he hugging me? Oh my god. She felt like her head was about to explode. Her heart was pounding. She just looked up at me blankly. Hey! Little deskmate, how much longer are you planning to hug me? The exam is about to start soon. Xu Nianchu snapped out of it. She quickly jumped out of my arms. She looked around anxiously. Her face instantly turned red. What did I just do? Why did I have to zone out at a time like that? She wished she could find a hole to crawl into. I was about to explain something, but it felt like any explanation would be pointless. In her panic, she blurted out, "I just wanted to see if you were still following me." I couldn't help but laugh out loud. That excuse was way too clumsy. Only then did Xu Nianchu realize what she had just said. Ah! Damn it. What on earth am I saying? I must be crazy. She turned around and headed straight for the exam room. I'm going into the exam room first. Wait. I quickly called her back. Xu Nianchu didn't dare turn her head. She stopped nervously. What is it? Little desk mate. Do well on the exam. Don't get distracted. Okay. Okay. She nodded repeatedly, but her mind was still a bit chaotic. You too. You made a bet with Fan Yunja. Math. Don't score lower than him in math. I don't care about that bet. However, little desk mate, I want to make a bet with you. In this exam, if my math score is higher than Fan Yunja's, can you agree to one condition? What? Xu Nianchu looked up in confusion. I stepped forward and gently patted her head. If I beat Fan Yunji in math, don't cut your own bangs anymore from now on. I used to wonder, little desk mate, who cut your bangs so thick and ugly? I just realized it in the last couple of days. This little girl surely can't bear to spend money on a haircut. So you always cut it yourself? What? What kind of condition is that? If I don't cut it myself, who will cut it for me? I'll cover my eyes if it gets too long. I'll figure something out for you when the time comes. The exam is about to start. Go on in. After saying that, I turned and walked to the classroom next door. Only then did Xu Nianchu react. Lin Zhou kept following me. Was it just because his exam room is right next door? Then what did I say just now? Oh my god. I'm dying of embarrassment. The first exam in the morning was math. As soon as the test papers were handed out, I quickly focused on the work. The total exam time was 2.5 hours, but it only took me an hour and a half to finish writing and checking it over. After checking once and seeing no issues, I stood up to hand in the paper. Fan Yunj, who was in the same exam room, scoffed coldly. He sneered inwardly, handing in the paper this early. Lin Zhou is definitely hopeless with those grades, and he wants to surpass me. Keep dreaming. The proctor also a bit speechless. You there, student. Aren't you going to do a few more questions? Although this isn't the university entrance exam, it is still very important. Today's first mock exam is based on the difficulty of previous year's entrance exams. It's impossible to finish without taking 2 hours, so he thought I definitely wasn't taking the exam seriously. As a teacher, he felt he still needed to give a reminder. Sir, I'm finished. I spoke up helplessly. Finished? You did it all? Yes. I handed the paper to him. You can check it. I really finished it. He doubtfully took the exam paper. One look, and he was stunned. Question 1 is correct. Question 2 is correct. Even the final big question is correct. Moreover, the answer is extremely detailed. Who is this student? How is he this amazing? Sir, may I leave now? Hearing that, he nodded mechanically. Ah, yes. Of course. Thank you. Sir, I packed up my stationery, stood up and left. I just didn't expect Xu Nianchu to turn in her paper early too. Now we were standing in the hallway, staring at each other blankly. I spoke first. Little desk mate, how did you do? It was okay. Those questions were quite simple. As she spoke, she lowered her head, although she was unsettled because of me before the exam. Once the exam officially started, she immediately pushed aside all distractions and finished everything in one go. After finishing, she felt a bit bored, so she just handed it in. She intended to avoid me and go back to class early. She didn't expect to see me as soon as she walked out. She made me laugh. Simple. If other students heard you say that, they'd be furious. I have the benefit of rebirth. My comprehension is better. That's why I felt the questions were simple, but I didn't expect my little deskmate to find them simple too. She must be a true genius. 11:30 m. The math exam ended. Proctor Zhang Beipi quickly took the exam papers back to the office. Half an hour ago, he heard about me and Xu Nianchu. He just felt a splitting headache. He unconsciously thought Xu Nianchu handing in her paper early was entirely because I had led Xu Nianchu astray. Just as he was wondering whether to separate our seats, the phone on the desk rang. Zhang Beipi was a bit startled. A call from the grading room. Why are they calling me at this time?